Hey there, welcome to the latest episode of the Campus Comics Cast, and happy 2021, I guess. This is our first episode of the new year. We're going to be going through the new previews catalog that we do every month, and this is Dan Brown, and I'm joined this time by...
Scott Reed.
Mike Atchison.
And we are still socially distancing. We're still not at the store like we used to be. We're kind of doing this over the internet, so if there's any technical issues, just, kind of bear with us right now. But the store is open. If you want to come by, we are open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 5, and we are located at 816B East Main Street in Carbondale, Illinois. You can also find us on Facebook or Twitter, or if you want to give the store a call, the number is 618-457-6011. Want to come by, get your comics. Again, we just ask that, of course, like everybody else, that, you wear a mask when you come in and try to, just be considerate of other people right now while everything's still going on. But this time we're going to be looking at the January 2021 catalog for stuff that's going to start shipping in March. Again, there'll be some stuff that, ships later, I'm sure. There's, merchandise that'll come later. There might be books that come later, the way things are going right now. I think we've got some more resolicits in this catalog. Seems to be a theme lately. So we'll see how things go with that.
We have re-solicits.
Yeah, re-solicits on some of this stuff. And, there's starting to be some more news about some of that stuff, too, going on right now. But we're going to jump into the DC catalog. And again, this is the DC Connect catalog. Again, it's only available digitally now. DC doesn't do a, hard copy catalog anymore, which, I don't know, ups and downs to that, I suppose.
And before we get too far in, orders are due January 18th.
Yeah, so if you hear something you want to check out, or you want us to order for you at the store, let us know by the 18th. Again, that's not, if you find us something on the 19th, let us know, but again, you got a much better chance of getting it before the 18th. So going into DC, the big thing, this is the first post-Future State solicitations we've got. And so they are going all in on this Infinite Frontier, sort of the new thing now. We've got the big 0-issue one-shot. So this is, it looks like we're getting a lot of the teams that were on the Future State books kind of taking over the monthlies now. But we've got a lot of new number ones here this month.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my question about Infinite Frontier.
Right.
Has Death Metal been that big that they are basically saying that DC is basically saying our sales numbers are going to be better if we go with the result of the Death Metal universe than what we've always done? And I feel like that's what they're saying. I'm
going to say no. I'm going to say this is, hey, we had all this stuff lined up for 5G that we're not really doing now, and we got to do something. I think everybody was kind of building towards a head with something that didn't happen, so now we've got to do something else. And I think that's probably what this is. Again, I will probably check out the big one-shot they're doing of Infinite Frontier, kind of setting things up. And again, like we were saying previously with the Future State catalogs, there's going to be stuff that comes out of that. What sticks, what doesn't, we'll find out. But I think the big, before we get into the specifics here, I think the big takeaway from this is there are a lot fewer DC superhero titles this month than there have been for quite a while. And again, this was a rumor last year, but the layoffs happening and everything, that DC was going to publish less titles. As I'm going through here, so I'm counting just like regular superhero universe DC books. Like my criteria is like, say there's a big company-wide crossover. So I'm counting like the books that would be in this, hypothetical crossover. I'm not talking about Black Label. I'm not talking about the sort of off, like I'm not talking about Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I'm not talking about everything DC is publishing. I'm just talking about their proper superhero universe. I'm counting 16 books this month. Whereas a few years ago, that number was 52.
16 books or 16 titles?
16 titles.
Okay, all right, because some of them are double shipping, right?
No, I don't think so.
No,
not this month?
Stop the double shipping.
Double shipping is another thing. Seems to be done with this catalog.
Yeah. And they were down to only Batman, Wonder Woman, Justice League, I believe, were the last three titles that I know of that were double
Flash
shipped.
might have been too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Flash still was, but they were for quite a while.
Yeah, I didn't count them, Dan, like you did, but I seen that it was markedly fewer
I wanted to double check and count because it's like, oh, this is way less than it used to be. I could tell just kind of scrolling through the catalog. The other side of that is, though, again, this is an argument I've made before too, and other people have said, if there were fewer books, I would just get them all.
Yeah.
So it's like 16 books is the DC Universe proper right now, basically, this month at least.
Right.
Again, I'm sure there'll be more number ones next month, and there'll be some more stuff coming. But 16 is actually manageable.
Yeah.
If you want all the DC stuff, the Super 16 books, that's 4 books a week. Yeah. I buy way more than that now. You know what I mean? And, they're taking away some of the ones I have been reading. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but like it's plausible now. You could do that,
And that's a good argument. I mean, I actually was thinking I wasn't going to get Batman Urban Legends because of the price point, but whenever you consider that it's not double shipping anymore, neither is Detective, then
there's a reason we're getting another Batman book right now.
Yeah.
So Urban Legends is the new anthology book they're doing with Batman. Again, it's a 64 pages. It's an $8 book, so it's double what you're going to pay. But again, it is a bigger issue. It's a bigger size comic. But I'll definitely get this. I feel like I've done pretty good with Batman anthology books. It seems like you get some good stories in there. I don't think it's going to be on par with Batman Black and White that they're doing again right now. There's always quality stuff in that. But, I can't imagine we don't get some good stories here.
Should we read? I mean, this whole Infinite Frontier thing was new to me with this catalog. Do you think we should read this blurb from page, I don't know what page it is, that explains what Infinite Frontier is?
If you want to.
Okay, so I'm just going to read this straight from the DC Connect catalog. Infinite Frontier, Dark Knight's Death Metal has created an infinite multiverse. DC's heroes saved all of reality from the brink of destruction and shook loose the very fabric of space and time. The entire history of the DC universe has been restored. Every epic battle that has ever happened is part of one timeline where everything matters. DC Future State, the 2-month event in January and February 2021, gives a glimpse into the possible unwritten worlds of tomorrow. Now the DC Universe is an infinite frontier of possibilities. Are the events shown in DC Future State destined to happen, or will new realities take shape? Discover what's next on the horizon for the world's greatest superheroes and supervillains.
New realities will take shape because DC never sticks with anything when they try to pull this.
Mm-hmm.
They tried doing, Hyper Time before. They tried to do, the 52 Earths. The sad
Rebirth.
thing, they always try to have their cake and eat it too with their continuity. It never really pans out. They never really, there's never like a monthly Elseworlds book. You know what I mean? Like they'll do the one shots of the miniseries, but then that's it. And it's like there's so much potential with some. I'm not saying all Elseworlds were great. But I'm saying there are alternate universes, and as much as they like to play with that kind of stuff, why isn't there something of this that's, utilized on a regular basis?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to say that Multiversity was, if they had brought that to full fruition, what Grant Morrison had planned, and I just reread that, he had it lined out to account for all of these different versions of characters and different Earths, and they could have moved on this and made it very plausible because you had an infinite universe, and you didn't have to. They just never really pulled the trigger on it. They never took advantage of all those characters they created.
They never do. Mm-hmm. They did that before when they brought in Hyper Time. Where like everything was supposed to have counted. They, with Infinite Crisis and 52, where they established 52 universes. They show what some of them are, but then they never do anything with them. It's definitely a use it or lose it type of thing. And then you get different editorial changes, or you have new creators in. They're like, well, I want to do my own thing. I don't want to do this. And it's just like, you can't sit around on this stuff. Like, no one's going to remember, like, also even Future State in 10 years, if you don't use any of those characters, no one's going to care about them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and then, you've lost all steam. But, so the first new book they have in here is the Batman Urban Legends. anthology.
Well, okay, let's. So we got Infinite Frontier issue 0. One shot comes out in March. All right, and to me, do they think the CW Stargirl show is enough that they really are focusing on Stargirl as coming back in this particular book?
I would say part of it, but I would also say that's probably Jeff Johns too, because that's his character based on his sister. You know what I mean?
I agree.
If he's still in a position to kind of highlight that character, he's going to do it.
Okay, and then one more thing before we go on to Batman.
He does have a TV show, so there is that. You know.
Okay, so on page 4, who is this character in white? Is that because it's almost like she has the Wonder Woman emblem on her head, on her forehead?
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like the Spectre in the background, and I thought that was Wonder Woman as well. I mean, like a throwback to her, early '70s non-powered.
But that was more of a jumpsuit, not anything.
It was. I'm just talking about the color scheme, but yeah, I would guess that it's Wonder Woman, but by the looks. But
beyond the mortal world, Wonder Woman settles into the new role in the God Spear, so it is Wonder Woman. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's Wonder Woman.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I didn't realize that. I thought it looked like Wonder Woman, but I thought it was somebody else. So, okay, now you can talk about Batman Urban Legends.
Okay, so Batman Urban Legends new book. Next new book, Joker. Joker's getting a series again. Had one back in the 70s. I think you could probably do a lot more without a code, on a Joker book than you could back in the day. Danny O'Neill even talked about the struggle of trying to produce that book in the 70s. We got a nice cover by Gilliam Marchier, and I think he's doing the art in this too, at least his first issue.
And I'm keep backing up on you, going back to Batman Urban Legends.
All right.
Okay, is this the first time? When did Chip Zdarsky jump ship to DC?
He's just freelancing.
I thought he did something, but maybe not. Maybe this is the first thing.
I don't know. I guess I should look that up. But and I feel like going back to Joker, I feel like now DC's following what Marvel did with all the villain books, because Marvel had Juggernaut and Taskmaster, and now DC's got a couple.
Marvel's been killing it with those villain books too. I'm liking just about every one of them. So if DC makes a book that good, I'm fine with it. It's just, can Joker carry a series?
Exactly.
We'll see.
The character is popular enough, but right. I mean, but if you're true to that character, that's not the type of stuff that you want to really read on a normal person would want to read on a regular basis.
And that's the thing. I mean, I don't know that he's a character that you can only take in, I won't say small doses, but moderate doses. I mean, it's so over the top, and you don't want to see him every issue.
Oh.
I mean, he only lasted in the 70s series about 9 issues, but.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how he goes.
And which of the quote-unquote 3 Jokers is it? Or is it all 3?
Oh, yeah.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, so after that, we've got a new Harley Quinn #1. You had to know this was coming.
Oh, yeah. 75 is not the end of Harley Quinn.
No.
So.
And Riley Rossmo on art. I think he's a good pick for that book. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, Mike, you love Riley Rossmo.
I think before we started recording, I said I have 2 words to explain why I'm not buying this book, and it's Riley Rossmo. So I think his animation, for lack of a better term, the way his figures are, is pretty good. I just don't like the actual figures. I don't like I don't know, and I'm not an artist. I'm not an art critique, so maybe I'm just.
Well, you are an art critique, apparently.
What's that?
I said you are an art critique, apparently.
Well, I'm critical, but I'm not. I don't know that I'm right. But I know I'm right in my mind, so I'm not going to buy it.
So page 14, Suicide Squad #1. Are we disappointed that Tom Taylor is not on this series?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Again, and that's the thing. Robbie Thompson might have a good take on it. This might be a fine story. It's just not what I want right now. Again, Peacemaker's in it, so I know Mike's going to get it. That's his #1. But
that's right. That's right. Hey, and you know what? I think the biggest disappointment in not having Tom Taylor is that he really did build a good team, I thought, in that previous run, which only went, 12 issues or so. And they were all new characters except for your Harley and your Deadshot and Captain Boomerang. But I thought it was pretty inventive. And it, like happens so many times, they come up with some pretty good characters, and then they just go off into the ether. We never hear about them again. I thought they had good power sets. They were new and fresh, And what we're going to do, we're going to go back to Peacemaker and Black Bolt. And the Talon. Oh, we got Judo Master, it looks like, in there too.
Well, hopefully Talon dies. Or not Talon, but Black Bolt. I want to see him dead.
Page 15. Okay, so we got a Swamp Thing 10-issue series, limited series. And I feel like most people who are fans of Swamp Thing want Alec Holland's Swamp Thing. They don't want I lost the guy's name. Levi
Garrett.
Garrett, thank you, yeah. Or Levi Kamai.
Yeah.
So I think most people are gonna say that's not my Swamp Thing.
Well, they did a what was it called? The Legend of Swamp Thing Halloween special last year, which was really good. And they had like sort of stories of like different Swamp Things throughout the years, kind of thing. And hopefully that's kind of playing into that, because I think that's a really cool concept. I think you could do a lot with that, saying that like there's always been like a protector of the green, because like, why would Alec Holland be the first one?
Right.
Sort of thing. So I don't know that that's what this is, but hopefully they're at least playing into that, and like maybe we can get Alec Holland in there and maybe some other ones too. If they start doing something with that.
Page 17, you got Teen Titans Academy #1, which I feel like DC's trying to do the Strange Academy over on the DC side. Now you got the Teen Titans, all as teachers, and more Red X, so they're not letting that character lie, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not familiar with Red X. Where does he come from? The animated?
Yes.
Yeah, he comes from the early 2000s Teen Titans cartoon.
Yeah, and he had his first appearance in Future State, right? In one of the Future State issues of Teen Titans. So.
I'm gonna say unless he was in the original Teen Titans Go comic book that was a tie-in to the original Teen Titans cartoon. So I can't imagine that character's not in there somewhere.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be hunting Red X first appearance, I would look there first. Because this might turn into a Harley Quinn thing where it's like, oh, Batman Harley Quinn was her first appearance, until everybody's like, oh wait, she was in Batman Adventures first. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if you're going to hunt that down, I would double check that first.
So are these the first, so on page 18, are these the first non-Bendis issues of Superman in action?
Yes. And I'm going to buy, Philip Kennedy Johnson as the writer and Phil Hester as the artist. It's going to keep me on the book just to see how things go. I haven't seen Phil Hester in anything in a while.
Yeah. On the variant cover for the issue of Action, why is his cape getting in his face? I don't know what's going on there.
Well, that's why he's laughing.
I guess.
It was a bad photo take.
A real photo of Superman there.
It's an outtake. So. Yeah, so now was it the same writer? Yeah, so Philip Kennedy Johnson's doing both Superman and Action? Yes.
Yeah, it looks like
it. Okay. All right.
Is it me or has the Batman family expanded to like Legion of Superheroes proportions?
They're getting there, that's for sure.
And you get to see him twice in this digital edition because we have
that's not just mine, right?
No.
We've got the listing for Batman 106 twice. So maybe it is double shipping that month. I'm not sure. So we got Tynan sticking around on Batman with Jorge Jimenez, and then we have
so fans of Damian Wayne need to pay attention, because Batman 106 has a backup Damian Wayne story that concludes in Detective 1034. So just that Demon or Detective is a two-parter that's going to be split between those two books. So if Damian Wayne's your character, be sure you pick up both of those issues.
Right.
And again, both Batman and Detective are $5 now too, with those backups. So even though they're not double shipping, they're making up for it.
Mm-hmm. And that's not even with the card stock.
Yeah. Batman, Superman. Okay, we got the next issue of that. Again, not a new #1, just continuing the numbering from before. But we're getting Gene Yang and then Ivan Rice and Danny Miki on art. This is going to be the new team. I'm really looking forward to this. I like that writer. I like that artist. And I think they're playing up some of the So they're bringing in some of the villains from the old Superman serials from the 40s here,
Oh, that's cool.
with the Spider Lady and
Dr. Adam.
yeah, and those are from the old Superman serials.
I mean, they're actually bringing in versions of Superman and Batman, at least in this issue, are the Golden Age. I mean, look at the S and the bat symbol and the ears.
Yeah. So again, who knows what that means?
Yeah.
We'll see. And there is some, I guess it's preview art here in the preview where they're showing like frames of film going by Batman and Superman too. So I'm not sure how they're tying this in with everything. Again, Gene Yang did the Superman Smashes the Klan book. That was, sort of an adaptation of the old radio show episodes. So he's apparently deep diving here with some of his Superman stuff, taking it way back.
It's not his first foray into the Golden Age. He wrote a modern rendition of the first Asian American superhero from the Golden Age called the Green Turtle. I forgot what the actual name of the OGN was, but it's excellent. I mean, excellent. And due to the 40s and that was the time, they made a point not to really even reveal. It was alluded to that the Green Turtle was Asian, but they never actually showed his face.
Yeah.
So they could whatever get away with it. I guess back then.
Let's see after that.
Page 27.
Yeah.
Catwoman 29. Mentioning this because we are getting a new villain in this issue. Kadim, I don't know. It's a non-corporeal assassin, and apparently has some ties to Poison Ivy. So here I'm gonna go out on a limb and see what the ties are. So I
think that might be two different things.
Oh, really? Okay.
What do the Kadim mob, a non-corporeal assassin, and Poison Ivy have in common?
Okay, so the non-corporeal assassin is the new villain, right?
I think so.
Okay, so that it looks like she has a honeycomb for a mask, or the assassin has a honeycomb for a mask. So the bees have to pollinate for Poison Ivy. So there's your connection.
Okay.
Nice.
You heard it here first, folks.
Right.
Yeah.
We gonna talk about Flash 768?
Yeah. So we've got this big blurb here. The redemption of Wally West begins.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we kind of heard that with Flash Forward.
Yes.
I'm not crazy about where Future State Flash was going.
No.
So yeah, we got to do something with Wally here, guys.
Yeah.
This is getting out of hand. I don't need.
They don't even mention the Future State stuff because he was the villain in those Future State books.
Yeah.
They say events spanning Heroes in Crisis, Dark Knight's Death Metal. They don't say anything about him being the villain in the Flash Future State books. But now we're going to redeem him.
Yeah, they've really kind of misstepped with that character for the last several years now. Yeah, I don't know. Give me a call. We'll figure this out.
There's an interesting sentence in the solicitation that says, as Fallout from Infinite Frontier hits the Flash, Barry Allen and Wally West must confront the past by way of a Justice League led by Green Arrow. So that makes me think Green Arrow is going to be wanting some justice because Wally killed Roy Harper. Arsenal /
I mean, I feel like you have to address that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't feel like it's ever been addressed.
It's a good call. And speaking of Justice League, this is where Bendis is apparently going.
Yeah.
Because we have Bendis starting. This is his first issue, right? Issue 59.
Yeah, and I'm not sure why everybody is kind of in shadow in the cover there. Tell me who you don't know on that cover.
Yeah.
Kind of silly. I don't know why they're doing it like that, but whatever.
I'm good with the lineup except for Black Adam. I'm tired of the villain / anti-hero or ambiguous character being in something like the Justice League. The Justice League, you had to be a card-carrying hero. I mean, they have charters and bylaws. You can't just walk in and say, I'm going to help the good guys.
Right.
Okay, and this is ridiculous. So in Flash 768, it says Justice League led by Green Arrow.
Right.
And then on the page here, they meet the new Justice League, and they don't mention Green Arrow in the new Justice League.
Yeah, on the blurb. I know.
Oh, weird. I didn't even notice that. But yeah, I mean, he's on the cover.
He's obviously pictured, but yeah.
But they have Black Canary on the cover, and she's not mentioned either.
Okay, yeah.
She's not even listed as a member, but she's on the cover.
Weird. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that.
Well, I just noticed it, so it wasn't super obvious.
Well, who knows? If they're dealing with the multiverse, they might be dealing with a different Justice League in Flash than they are in Justice League. Who knows?
Well, of course, it's not, and maybe it's in dark because, well, which Aquaman is it? Is it the new Aquaman or the old Aquaman? Because it's not Wonder Woman, it's Hippolyta.
Yeah.
I guess you're supposed to think, oh, that's Shazam, but it's Black Adam. All right, Naomi, that's
no one's thinking that's Shazam. Come on.
Who knows? So
yeah, I'm picking it up though. I'm going to.
I mean, I wasn't impressed with the Superman stuff, but I'll at least get this first issue of Justice League, see how it goes.
Yeah, and hey, they got Peacemaker on the back of the wraparound cover of the issue as well on one of the variants. So
and what have I been telling you guys? He's at least a B-list character.
All right. Page 33, we've got Nightwing 78.
Okay, well, actually, I need to back up and ask you an artist question, Dan.
All right.
So here on these not final art pages for Justice League, they have like that little bit of green and that little bit of red. Is that supposed to mean something? The little bit of blue, rest all black and white, but those three little color pops.
Okay, so I don't know. This is just me kind of guessing here. So I'm going to say during the coloring process that I don't know who this character is with the horns with the red going down his chest, but I'm going to assume because of the blue around the lightning with Black Adam, I'm going to bet those are sort of guides for effects on that page for the colorist.
Okay.
Because obviously they're not just going to pencil and ink lightning. They're going to put lighting effect on it. There's probably something going on with Aquaman there with the green, or it's just an issue of where, like Aquaman's tattoos or whatever that is on his shoulders. It's probably not black line. The lines will probably literally be green in the printed page. I'm gonna bet that's what that is. That might be something similar with the guy with the red on him.
Okay.
Or it might just be like that's maybe a red tattoo going down him, or that's maybe that's gonna be glowing on the final page or something like that. Would be my guess. Again, I don't know. I don't know these artists. I don't have any insight to the behind the scenes process with that.
Okay.
But just visually looking at it here, that would be my guess on that.
All right, good deal. I'm glad to see them continuing and not starting over at number 1 on Nightwing.
Yeah.
And if you need Tom Taylor this month, there's where you'll find him.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely picking that up.
36, Wonder Woman 770. So they actually have Yara Flor on the cover, along with Nubia in the background. So I guess they're gonna, again, because of Infinite, I forgot what the name, what it was called. Infinite what? Frontier. You can tell how into it I am. All three of the Wonder Woman are gonna be here in this book. So. And then another villain book with Crime Syndicate number 1 on page 37.
Oh, I'm down for this.
Yeah.
And this is one where, I mean, if they don't take advantage of the multiverse to explain, don't try to put them into, the mainstream Earth Prime, Earth Zero, whatever we call it now, but let them be on their own Earth.
It hints here that's going to be Earth 3.
And that's what it originally was Earth 3.
And which classic DC hero is the president of the United States on Earth 3?
Oh, okay. Guesses. Who's going to be the president?
DC hero, Alexis Luthor. On Earth 3, he was a hero.
Yeah.
But would he be considered a classic DC hero? So the question is
on Earth 3, it's all reversed. So all the heroes are villains. So if it's classic, you would think it would be actually a villain, what we're used to. So,
but I'm thinking that is actually going to be a classic DC hero, so an actual hero. But who knows? I don't even have a guess.
I'm gonna say Booster Gold. I got Booster Gold,
Right.
president on Crime Syndicate World. We'll see.
Write it down. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna write
Okay.
mine down.
All
I
right.
say Alexis Luthor. Dan says Booster Gold. Who do you say, Mike or Scott?
Oliver Queen.
Oh,
I'm going Green Arrow. Since he's the head of the
Okay.
Justice League, he's gonna be head of something in here. So
Right.
all right.
I don't know. I can see businessman kind of working his way up, though. It's not like we haven't seen that in real life.
and my really wild guess is John Jones.
Well, in the I'm blanking on the name. The DC straight to DVD cartoon they did with the Crime Syndicate, Crisis,
Earth 2.
Crisis on multiple Earths.
Two Earths or what
Two
was?
Earths. Yeah, 2 Earths.
But in that, Deathstroke was the president of their
Yeah.
world, on their world.
Oh, that's right.
So John Ridley's getting more work at DC with Superman Red and Blue #1 on page 39. 6-issue series, prestige format. And I guess since Peach Momoko went just Marvel, I don't know, not just Marvel, but working more at Marvel, they had to come up with a new artist to take over for variants here at DC. So they've got Yoshitaka Amano doing a lot of variant covers this month as well. So I don't know, you think that's going to be up with like Batman Black and White or the Marvel books?
That's definitely what they're going for with this. I mean, I hope the quality's there because Batman Black and White's always been pretty strong on the miniseries. So yeah, I don't know why you couldn't do an equivalent of that with Superman. I think if you're limiting the artists like that, though, you got to be real careful with that. Black and White is one thing. The black, white, and red for like Harley Quinn and Wolverine, that's easy enough to do. I think giving them 2 colors in this, I don't know. We'll see. And again, I'm not saying there's not creative solutions to that, but I'm like, is every artist going to kind of bring it that? We'll see.
I kind of assumed this was more of a name like the Spider-Man blue and the Captain America white and the Hulk green and the Daredevil yellow.
I'm gonna say this is a 2-color comic book. I don't think they're tying in like that, like the Jeff Loeb himself Marvel books. I think look at these covers. They've got a limited color palette.
Yeah.
This is going to be Superman stories where the only colors you see are red and blue.
Well, and apparently yellow.
Yeah, on that
On one cover, but the other covers just got white background behind
yeah.
you.
So we'll see.
I'm tapped out on DC there.
Yeah, it's pretty much just trades and graphic novels moving forward. I'm kind of skimming through it here real fast.
Yeah, so we've got the 4th issue of Batman Black and White in here. Again, this new series has been good. Definitely pick those up. Batman.
Final issue of Green Lantern Season 2 by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp.
Yeah, see, here's the other thing, too, because I thought I'd heard originally that the new Green Lantern book was supposed to launch this month, too. That we were going to get the last issue of Season 2 and the new issue of the new Green Lantern book, but so far it's just Season 2 in the catalog here.
I'm hoping that in subsequent months there's going to be more relaunches or more extensions, because the Legion is very apparently missing from this solicitation, this previews, and I'm probably more aggravated about that than anything, because I thought they were just getting in their stride with Bendis and who was the artist? Not Steve Pugh, but
Ryan Sook.
Yeah. I mean, they were just really getting in. I was really enjoying it, and they only got 9 or 10 or 11 issues in, and then we go through this.
Yeah, I can't imagine there aren't. I will put money on there being a new Green Lantern book next catalog. But there's going to be more stuff. Hopefully, they're just giving everybody some lead time.
Yeah.
Again, I know everyone's been saying DC's going to publish less books, but it's just 16 core superhero titles seems really light to me.
Yeah, there's no Aquaman either in this.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so we'll see where they're going with all that. I think some highlights in the trades real quick. We've got the next Batman Golden Age Omnibus Volume 9. So this is collecting Batman, again, this first volume for all this stuff. 76 to 85, Detective Comics 192 to 210, and World's Finest 63 to 70. So again, reprinting the old Batman stuff in chronological order. We've got Kings of Fear by Scott Peterson and Kelly Jones. This was the good miniseries they did a couple years ago. And again, Kelly Jones drawing Scarecrow is always a good time. And we've got the trade of Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, which seems like a lot, but they've been pretty good. So Freddie Williams on art there doing that. And we're getting a new DC poster portfolio of Jay Lee's work. Mm-hmm. There's probably some good stuff. I kind of wonder how similar it's all going to look, though, considering what he's been doing the last few years. We have this one, DC through the 80s, The Experiments. And so this is looks to be like some odds and ends sort of collections, like some sort of things, again, probably more experimental books they were doing back in the 80s. So we've got Swamp Thing, Sandman, Doom Patrol, Nathaniel Dusk, Infinity Inc., New Teen Titans, Watchmen, Camelot 3000, Dark Knight Returns, Angel Love.
They even have the best of DC Blue Ribbon Digest number 58. What the heck is that in there for?
Yeah, and then like Secret Origins 48. I know I have that, but I can't think of what's in that one.
Well, what's crazy about this is like a lot of these aren't standalone stories. Like Watchmen 1, Camelot 3001, Dark Knight Returns 2. It's like, who wants to buy a trade that has not a single complete story in it? I don't get this.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I can't think of, there may be some of these that are one and done stories, but I'd have to look at them and cross-reference. But
yeah,
there's not a single one that you probably couldn't buy, except for Watchmen number 1, that you couldn't buy in a cheap bin.
Dark Knight Returns 2, you couldn't get in the cheap bin.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Sandman 8, you could not get in the cheap bin. Yeah.
But yeah, some of these definitely you could. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird bag.
Yeah. I think there's just 3 that you couldn't get in the dollar bins.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'm done with DC, I think.
All right. Yeah, I think that's it for me. Moving on to Marvel.
Hey, it's all about aliens.
Yeah, so yeah, right here on the cover, no one can hear you scream, Scott.
Yes, no.
Nobody. It doesn't matter if you're in space, you're at your home, you're inside, you're outside, you're underground. They're not going to hear you screaming. Remember that.
But before the screaming, that is the unheard screaming, starts, they got to finish up King in Black for the first 15 pages of the Marvel catalog. So if you are, of course, I can't imagine if you're into King in Black that you're not reading Venom, but Venom 34 is supposed to be the series finale for King in Black. So if you were picking up King in Black, you want to be sure you pick up that issue. I don't really have anything else to say about anything else in King in Black.
Well, I feel like we've got, there's a lot of issues here for King in Black in total, and I don't see any with Johnny Cash in them. So I don't know what Marvel's doing with this, but they really should have got their act together with that. I will say again, I'm not reading King in Black, but the only good thing I'm seeing come out of it are these books that I wanted that got canceled that are kind of coming back through this, like Black Cat. And it looks like Ghost Rider's back too. Again, there was just the real short-lived last run of Ghost Rider that was really good. I believe it's the same writer here. But I'll probably check that out just because that last run, I don't know how that got cut so short. But, yeah, I'm kind of reaping the benefits of stuff being brought back, sneaking in through King in Black, apparently. So I'm fine with that if some of my books come back.
Yeah, page 14, we're getting the 5-issue Beta Ray Bill series, though it's listed as coming out of King in Black.
Yeah. So I don't know how well that ties in, or but you've got Daniel Warren Johnson doing a Beta Ray Bill, and again for Murder Falcon and Wonder Woman Dead Earth. So yeah, I can't imagine he doesn't do something cool with that. After that, we've got this Thor and Loki Double Trouble. Now there was the Spider-Man Venom Double Trouble not too long ago, also with the art by Yurihiru, which I really liked. I don't know if this is just going to be a thing now, if they're just going to do Double Trouble with like these different heroes and villains, or if this is just maybe that first one did well enough they're doing like this sort of sequel to it. We'll see.
And then page 18, here it starts, Alien #1. 13 covers? 1, 2, 3.
Oh boy, who knows?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 that they mention anyway.
Right. There are some nice ones here. There's a nice Peach Momoko one, and then there's a Patrick Gleason one I like.
Yeah, I like the Patrick Gleason one. I think that's the best of the 3 that they show. And I'm a Ron Lim fan, so I like that Patrick Gleason one much better than the Ron Lim one. So, and the graphic comic box.
Yeah.
So, which I think is just the Inyuk Lee cover.
Yeah. But again, that is a really nice box.
Yeah.
I might see about getting that one.
That one is pretty cool.
I don't even have that many Alien comics, but that's a cool box.
Now, I'm not super digging the preview interior art pages for this.
Is it because you didn't need a QR code to get to them?
No, that has nothing to do with it. So I don't know why you dishing on the QR code. Man.
Because they're living in 2021. So what's that? Black Knight after that? What's the rumor? Eternals? Black Knight's supposed to be in Eternals?
Yes, it's Kit Harington is playing Dane Whitman. So he will be in the Eternals.
Okay.
So yeah, hey, at least this is giving them time to get a series out before the before the movie.
And
so
a Momoko cover variant for you there too.
You know, I just mentioned one time that people really dig those covers. I heard that individual's covers. I didn't say I was a fan. So,
but you're getting them.
No. Actually, I'm not.
We'll see.
Yeah. I always thought the Black Knight was a cool character. I figure I'm probably not going to like what they're doing with the character now because they're going to try to hype it for the movie, you know. So,
right.
You know, it was kind of neat whenever it was just like this guy who was kind of around. So,
right. So after that, we've got, well, I don't know if that's that. Well, we have Ultraman, but whatever.
Yeah.
Then we've got Carnage, Black, White, and Blood #1 of 4. So again, like we were kind of talking about with the Batman Black and White miniseries, and they did the Wolverine Black, White, and Blood. So it looks like we're getting a Carnage anthology here by some different creators. Again, you know, first thing, Donny Cates right there. So yeah, I don't know whether that many kind of good short stories to tell about Carnage. I guess we'll see. And yeah, I don't know. This might just be me. But the Inyuk Lee covers, I mean, oh man, the Alien one a little bit too, but especially this Carnage one is really giving me like 90s Nelson vibes. And again, I might just be thinking of, it was a Wizard special card called the Dark Book that he did the cover for with Carnage, and it might just be reminding me of that. But just something about like the text, the lighting and the texture is really kind of reminded me of like 90s Nelson artwork. And again, that might just be me. I might be the only one seeing that, but I feel like there was something else in here too that was kind of putting off those vibes. I'll mention it if I see it here.
Page 28, Silk is getting a new 5-issue series. The variant cover in the upper right kind of threw me for a second. It took me forever to figure out that she was wearing it's not her costume and that she's wearing those very wide leg pants. And it's just like, what in the world is going on in this image? Right. And it's just like, I mean, it's a cool cover, but man, it took me a while to figure it out. So, all right. So page, what page is it? Page 30. We have the Captain America Anniversary Tribute, and we talked about this in our last podcast. It is now that actually when we recorded, it was the 80th anniversary of Captain America. So here they're going to be releasing a few months late a tribute issue. Lots of writers and artists on this book. And basically they're going to do is they're going to redraw Captain America Comics 1, Avengers 4, as a 48 pager. So new art for those two stories, the Captain America Comics 1, which is the origin, and then of course the first Red Skull. So I think that's two different stories, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe I'm not remembering correctly.
What are your thoughts on this?
I guess I would have more thoughts on it if I'd picked up the giant size X-Men one that they redid this way. To me, it's almost blasphemous.
Right. I think there's definitely a case to be made for that with these kind of books.
I think I would rather see it with one artist redoing it than have a new artist every single page. That to me it's too jarring.
Right.
So I would like it more. I'm going to pick this up, obviously, but I would like it a whole lot more if it was the same artist throughout the entire book. And even it wouldn't even have to be. I wouldn't even want a panel for panel like redrawing. I would want, from the artist's perspective, how they wanted to draw it, as opposed to just trying to recreate, what was done initially. So.
Right. I think I'm interested in this stuff as just sort of an experiment, with the artists and that kind of thing. Again, I don't know how well it's going to read if you've never read these stories before, if you're just sitting down to this new. I don't know. But then there's also like, well, why is Kirby not good enough for you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's definitely that kind of side to it too. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how well these things sell when they do this.
Well, that's why I think they have Kirby listed as a writer, even though he technically wasn't the writer. We know the Marvel.
We all know Kirby was a writer on this stuff.
Well, I guess, going back to Captain America Comics 1, though, it's for sure, Simon and Kirby there, and then Stan Lee and Kirby with the Marvel method on Avengers 4. So
after that, we've got the new issue of Avengers Mech Strike.
Okay, go on.
Okay, so I don't think this was really clear with the first issue, but they've since released a trailer for this, which you can see on Marvel's YouTube page. So it's basically Pacific Rim Marvel, where the heroes have big mech suits and they're fighting kaiju. I don't feel like the kaiju aspect really came up in the first solicit, or maybe I just didn't see it.
Well, I think even here they're just saying global crisis. They don't say what the crisis is.
Here you have at least Hulk's, punching a monster on the cover here on this one. But my thing is, if you're doing this, why aren't you using the Marvel monsters? Why isn't Fin Fang Foom in here, or like the old Groot and stuff like that? Like, bring me some of those old crazy characters. Have those be your kaiju in the Marvel universe.
That would be good.
Yeah. Again, nobody asked us.
Nope. I don't think my next thing's till page 44. So.
Well, we're getting a new Psylocke book. Demon Days X-Men #1, written and drawn by Peach Momoko. So if you're a fan, this might be something to pick up.
And you know what's funny about the solicit? They don't even say that it's Psylocke in the solicit anyplace. It is Psylocke, but they don't say that. Just a wandering swordswoman with a psychic blade. They never say Psylocke.
Oh, huh. That is weird. Yeah, I didn't notice that. That's weird.
Yeah, but you're right. I agree that it's Psylocke.
Is there another?
No, and with it being X-Men, it wasn't until the second time I looked at the solicit that I saw, it's X-Men #1. 'Cause I kind of had just skipped down to the next page with the cover, and it's a very obvious Venom-looking character in the background there of the second cover that they show. So,
I would have swore Psylocke was in the title of that book. Crazy. I don't know what page. Well, I guess you just go ahead because I don't know what page I'm. 59 is my next.
Okay, so page 44. This is either the third or the fourth time this book has been solicited. Children of the Atom #1.
Right.
When did the X-Men get sidekicks? ? And this is, again, I had this, I don't know how long ago, as like my investment pick, because you're going to get new characters here. And if any of them get hot, this is the book to have. So, so it's solicited again. So yeah, just throwing that out there. I think my next thing's not till page 76.
All right.
So.
Well, 59, we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 62. So debuting a new costume for Spider-Man. So you'll be able to play that in the game in a couple years, but you get the first appearance here. And so on this preview here, it's all blacked out. It's classified.
But you can go online and see it.
Go to the internet right now. You can see this costume. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of on the fence.
I didn't care for it.
Again, I mean, I might read the story and see what the actual context is of it. But a couple pages after that.
Well, I'm going to mention it here because this was actually on some of the variants this month. They have the Spider-Man thing variant cover, and there were several other thing covers. There's the thing cover, and there's
there's the catch up.
Yeah, so on a lot of the variants this month. So I don't know if something happened with but they've got actually we kind of skipped over it, but there's a Avengers Curse of the Man-Thing book that's solicited. Issue 1 is being solicited, so maybe that has something to do with it. But there are several superhero thing, and you insert your own jokes there.
Right. Well, maybe the Man-Thing movie's coming to Disney Plus.
Maybe
that'll be on there.
Yeah. Oh, and here's the other one on page 62, Nonstop Spider-Man number 1. Again, this is at least the third time that this has been solicited. Yeah. So,
and now they were saying Chris Bachalo got the Rona. That's what's going on with this book, apparently. So apparently it is the very stoppable Spider-Man.
At least the stoppable Spider-Man artist.
Yeah, so again, I think he's doing okay. Again, I'm not making fun of somebody being sick here or anything like that, but we're just explaining that's what's going on apparently with that. So that's definitely put a halt to that book for a little bit. Again, hopefully it comes out here. We'll see.
Hulk 44 is a resolicit.
Yeah, we just saw that last month too, so it looks like that's slowing down a little bit. Maestro War and Pax number 3 right after that. The first Maestro miniseries is just wrapped up. I loved it. It's really good. One of my favorite books last year. I'm definitely going to be getting this War and Pax. I'll probably, as long as they keep the quality up, I'll keep getting these Maestro books.
Page 69, you have the penultimate issue of Ta-Nehisi Coates' run on Black Panther 24. And my next thing's on 77.
All right, well, on 71, I haven't really been keeping up with these, but so the Marvel book is, apparently an anthology with different creators coming in and doing stuff, and I've just been seeing Instagram light up with artists showing stuff from Marvel number 6. So we've got Lee Bermejo on here, and he does the variant cover.
That is a pretty cool Silver Surfer cover.
That is a really nice Silver Surfer cover. And we got Mitch O'Connell on here, and Greg Smallwood, and Alex Ross. And I haven't been getting this, but I feel like I need to get this issue. I might have to go back and get these books because there's a lot of creators I like right here. So I'll probably be picking this one up at least. And again, maybe that's a book I've been sleeping on. Maybe I should have been getting it from the start, but we'll see.
76 actually is my next thing.
All right, go ahead.
All right, well, so we got the final issues of 2 series. We got the final issue of Taskmaster and the final issue of U.S. Agent. So, and then 77, we have Daredevil issue number 28. Oh, and here's Chip Zdarsky. So he's still at Marvel too. So I guess he's just working both sides. But we have the Elektra Daredevil back. Because last month, if I remember correctly, she was in her old costume, and now she's back in the Daredevil costume, which makes you wonder, was the uproar over that character so positive that they went in and changed things real fast? Or
they lied in the solicits.
Okay. Do you think so?
Yeah, no, they did.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm pretty sure that already came out back when that happened. The plan was always she was going to be Daredevil for a while. They wanted to surprise everybody, so they put in fake solicits.
Oh, okay. So they pulled the Walking Dead thing. So.
Yeah.
All right. And then, here's a Daredevil thing variant cover. They don't show it, but it's there. So.
Because, don't show me a variant cover to know if I want to get it or not. Again, I'm not saying Marvel's the only one doing that, of course, but man, that's annoying. They pull that.
I think that wraps me up for Marvel.
And let's see. Oh, yeah. So again, I'm not really getting it right now, but the Star Wars Bounty Hunters book is up to number 10, and it says the Terminus Gauntlet concludes. So I was just thinking this was just a short mini series, but I don't, maybe it is done at 10. But that book has gone on longer than I thought it would, for sure.
Yep.
So on page 87, kind of going into some of the statues here, we've got this Marvel Comic Gallery versus Captain America PVC diorama.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like a very similar pose to the statue you were talking about a little while ago.
Yep.
But it feels like a real cheaper version.
Oh yeah, definitely feels like much
compared to
cheaper.
the one you were going on about previously.
Yeah. I can't figure out what's going on with his left foot in that. What's on his,
Oh, is it like rubble or something?
Maybe. So, yeah. I just, it's not as it's definitely not as nice, but it also was a lot cheaper too.
It's a similar pose though, too, isn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of the running through the rubble, but yeah. But the shield is much farther out because it's got like the rubble's what's holding the shield up instead of his hand and the wisp of smoke there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a similar pose. So.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. Page 97. Going at, we're into the collections here now. Star Wars Legends: The Old Republic Omnibus. It says Volume 1, but I think this is everything. Yeah, it's at least the first series. Yeah, I think this is.
Oh wow, that's huge! 50 issues and then other stuff.
It's more than 50 issues, but yeah,
50 issues plus the other stuff.
Yeah, the miniseries and the specials. This was a really good book. Again, this is sort of a prequel to the Knights of the Old Republic game that came out years ago, which I love.
Mm-hmm.
But this is John Jackson Miller, and Brian Ching drew most of it. He did most of what we've got here. But yeah, this book had this is probably one of the best first issues I've ever read in any book. They had such a good twist at the end. And again, the game was known for having a good story twist. They kind of followed suit with the first issue of this book. Yeah, this is, if you're a Star Wars fan, or if you're a fan of the Knights of the Old Republic game, definitely pick this up. Again, it's $125. I'm not going to say it's not pricey, but it's a big chunk of books too. But yeah, this was a really good book, and it kind of followed the formula of the video game, and I guess Star Wars in general, where you're putting together a team and that kind of thing. But yeah, just a really good book, a really good idea, a good first issue twist to kind of set up the series. And this was one of the books and again, this is back, this was Dark Horse. This wasn't Marvel. This is Marvel reprinting Dark Horse stuff again.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, this was definitely one of the best Star Wars books that Dark Horse did. And yeah, I can't recommend this one enough. This is definitely if you haven't read it, this is definitely something to pick up. I think that was about all I had for this one.
Okay, well, page 114, Marvel is doing another portfolio of Inuk Lee. And DC is doing such a better job with these portfolios. One, the DC portfolios are half the price. The DC portfolios are larger prints, and the DC portfolios give you more prints per book. There are only 12 in this Inuk Lee one. There was the same way with the Peach Momoko that was a couple of months ago, and the DC ones are, gosh, like I said, they're $25 versus $50, and I want to say you get maybe 20 prints or something like that.
Yeah.
In the DC one. So, and I've seen them both. I've seen both side by side, and the print quality is not that much better with the Marvel ones. So it's I don't know if it's a licensing thing or what that they're so much more.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah, I think that's it for me and Marvel.
Yeah, I think that was all I had too. Just real quick, they're showing all the posters this month, so.
Yep. I was waiting for you to say something about that. So
no fun games with the posters this month.
No.
So moving on to the big book.
Big book. You got anything before page 26?
Let me see. Oh, I got to start on the right side first.
Yep.
That would help. No, I don't.
Okay, so page 26. Reminder: your preview orders are due January 18th, and to pick up your own copy of previews so you can see all the stuff that's coming 2 months or more out, and have something to talk about around the water cooler.
Because this is what all your friends want to talk about at
That's
work.
right. This is it. This is all they want to talk about. And if they tell you they don't want to talk about it, they're lying. Just keep talking.
Yeah, they just don't know.
All right. So what do you think about this on page 32? Carmen #1.
I really like
March and
Gellian
Dan Christensen.
I really like Gellian March's work. I will probably pick up this first issue just to check it out, see what it is.
So do you think this is a bodysuit, or is that how the character looks?
I was trying to figure that out myself.
I would say from the cover, that's how the character looks. Because if this were a bodysuit, you see where she's kind of crossing her hands?
Mm-hmm.
You would see the arms in the foreground above the sort of hips in there. So if this were a bodysuit, you wouldn't have the solid, well, it's pink on the cover, but white kind of going through there.
Mm-hmm.
But if this was like a translucent body or something, I think that's how you would get that effect.
Okay.
Unless he's taking liberties on the cover, because then in the preview pages, like with where the legs cross, that kind of says bodysuit to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Okay, I was just curious how you were taking it, because the character is an angel, right? So I don't know. It is kind of an interesting concept.
Whatever they want to do then.
Yeah. And I think the 3 pages of art is really good. So,
yeah.
So yeah, that's from Image. Definitely something to think about. Page 36, you've got Noctera for the Scott Snyder fans. Don't know how I feel about an illuminated 18-wheeler to save the world. But I guess he just had some more ideas from Death Metal and put them over here in this book. But hey, Tony Daniel on the art, so has 4 or 5 preview pages, so you can definitely get a good feel for that one. I am a little bit intrigued by Shadecraft #1, which is on page 42. You talk about people being scared of their shadow, so I guess that's the premise of this one, is that what if the shadow actually is something to be scared of? So
it's based in Joliet, Illinois.
Yes, I saw that as well. So, but you got a few preview art pages there, and I think it's solid artwork as well. So,
see page 51. You got anything before that?
Okay, 46. Sorry, another #1 from Image, Ultra Mega. So for all the kaiju fans, this is another one for you to think about picking up. So it's somebody. It's his powers manifest whenever he's around demon-possessed people.
That's gonna be
turned into kaijus. So yeah. So it was weird. This transition doesn't make any sense. I know, Dan, maybe you can speak to this a little bit more. But how are you supposed to know that these two figures had grown to giant size until you see it, on that double-page spread on page 48? Because they're transforming here these last couple of panels on 47. So I think they didn't pull that off very well artistically. But,
I'm just kind of reading through the preview here. I'm going to bet there's a page in between there.
Think so?
I'm going to bet there's more to it in the actual book. And I think they probably chopped some stuff down for this preview in here.
Okay.
But I'm going to bet that in between pages 1 and 2 of the preview here, there's another page or two. Is going to be my guess.
I would hope so.
I might be wrong about that. But just from how I'm taking that, yeah.
Okay.
Where you at?
I'm on 51.
Go.
Okay.
So this isn't a #1. This is a 23. But we got a new story from Moonshine. Again, this book's been really good. Brian Azzarello, Eduardo Rizzo. Again, I don't know how this hasn't turned into something or been picked up by somebody at this point. Yeah, you've got Bootleg and Werewolves. Seems like it writes itself.
Have you seen the movie Outlaw? Or Outlaws? About moonshine in the 20s?
Oh, no. Were there werewolves in it?
No, I was. I'm trying to think of the guy that played Bane.
I probably don't want to see it then.
Tom
Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yeah. He played the protagonist. It was really good.
On 73, anything before that?
I don't think so.
63, I just wanted to mention that third generation Emma Kubert, the daughter of either Andy or or Adam, I'm not sure, but definitely the granddaughter of Joe Kubert. Got the first volume trade paperback of her series Inkblot, where she's the writer, and I don't know if she's the penciler and this Rusty Glad is the inker, but I think this might be something worth picking up just for historical purposes.
On page 73, got the new issue of Firepower. Again, still been going good with that book. And under that, we have the third issue of Ha Ha. Again, last month, number 2. I can't think of her name. Did the impending blindness of Billy Scott. I'm blanking on her name right now, but she did that issue. Now Roger Langridge is drawing this issue from Fred the Clown and Muppets and Bill and Ted. I feel like maybe I should have went back and got the first issue on this too if they've got good artists. Zoe Thorogood, that's the name I was trying to think of. But yeah, I might need to go back and get this first issue of Ha Ha at least, because I definitely want to get 2 and 3 here if they're getting these good artists on here.
84 is my next thing.
Yeah. I don't have anything before that.
Okay, so Dark Horse is bringing us Orphan and the Five Beasts. It's a 4-issue series from James Stocco. I'm probably butchering that name. Very detailed art, kind of reminds me a little bit of Jeff Darrow. I don't. We're getting a resurgence in kung fu books between this and Firepower and the Shang-Chi coming back to Marvel. So fans of martial arts comics, here's something else that you can pick up, and it's not a real big commitment. So
yeah, and I think he did some of the Godzilla stuff at IDW too.
Yeah, this is for Aliens, Dead Orbit, and Orkstain. Yeah, are the 2 that they mention here.
Let's see, page 88. We've got God of War: Fallen God, and so this is tying into the video game series with Kratos. It says it's an all-new tale set between the events of God of War 3 and the God of War game from 2018. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think they went so long in between those games, I wouldn't mind having a book kind of bridging that gap. Why this didn't come out in 2018, though, I'm not sure. But I still haven't really gotten around to playing that game, so I might pick this up and then play the game, finally, that I've had for a while. But again, I think there's a lot of potential right there as far as that story goes. You guys have anything for 120?
Nope.
Okay, so in IDW now, we've got Crime Comics Confidential, and so this looks like a collection of like kind of pre-code crime books, back when you could actually do good crime books. But we've got Charles Biro, John Buscema, Gene Colan, Jack Cole, Reed Crandall, Bernie Krigstein, a lot of good artists in here. Alex Toth, Marvin Stein, Mike Sikowski. So this might be something to check out. Just some cool old art that you don't see from these guys very regularly. Again, if it's not superhero comics, it probably isn't in print regularly. So might be some fun stuff in there from some old artists.
152 is my next thing.
Okay, well, still in IDW here on page 135, we are getting Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Last Ronin #1 Director's Cut. So again, they really kind of dropped the ball on that first issue. If you didn't get one, here's at least sort of the Director's Cut you can check out. And Diamond does list it as one of their gems of the month. So yeah, I think there is. So what all is in here? So there's layouts from East End story notes that date back decades. That's the other thing. This story was an idea that Laird and Eastman came up with like back in the 80s as like the last Ninja Turtle story. So there should definitely be some old kind of behind the scenes stuff that they can throw in there. So yeah, they're talking about character designs and script pages and stuff. So this might be, I've got the issue. I'm going to buy this too though, just to kind of see what some of that extra stuff is in there. And again, kind of tide you over till the next issue comes out. Nothing else. 152.
Yep, 152.
Yeah.
I'll let you go. You go.
Now, if you want to say something,
no.
Go ahead.
You are more into this than me. So.
I am looking forward to this. So we've got James Bond, Agent of Spectre #1. Dynamite has been doing some really good James Bond books. They've had some really strong miniseries. This is Christos Gage writing this. So apparently the story here is Bond kind of teaming up with Blofeld and infiltrating Spectre as, there's some sort of power grab going on in the Spectre organization. And this just seems like, why haven't they done this before? And Dynamite's been pretty good about that with some of their James Bond books. There's just like, what was it? I think it was a book called Black Box, where the villain took control of, he hacked James Bond's car. The car was working against him, and the car's got all these weapons. It just seems like a no-brainer kind of thing. And like early on, they gave Felix Leiter a prosthetic arm and leg. Yeah, why not? Why just write him out of the series because he's, lost a couple limbs? It's just like, they're doing some really good stuff. I'm really looking forward to this. And again, I'm not trying to steal your thunder here, Scott, or anything, if you want to talk about it. But
no. You said a lot more and a lot better than what I would have said.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this book. And they're showing, so all the variants here look like they're just variations on the main cover.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just like the main cover.
Now, that's the one problem with Dynamite is that they can't just give you one book, one cover. They got a ridiculous number of variants.
Yeah, and again, it's a Steve Epting cover, and it's like, why not at least have the interior artist do a cover or something? I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I know that I need a black and white version when the one is so. I mean, it's basically black and white and red.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would see maybe do a red foil version of that if you're going to do something, but nobody asked me. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that book. And we have a little sort of page of character designs here too. A little bit of, I guess it's an interview, but they don't really say who they're talking to here on the next page. I don't know. Maybe I'm just missing it. Maybe someone's yelling at me right now. Because we have a character design here by the artist, but I don't know if this is the artist they're talking to or the writer or what.
194 is the next thing.
Go ahead.
All right, so just to mention the final issue of the Expanse 4-issue series from Boom. They're up to episode 5 or 6 on Amazon Prime right now in season 5, and it's been really good. So if you're a sci-fi fan and have not gotten into the Expanse, watch the series on Prime and then go track down the trade, because by the time you finish it, the trade should be out.
Kind of going back a little bit here in Boom towards the beginning. Again, I don't get these, but man, they're going hard into the Power Rangers on here. We have got a lot of Power Rangers, and again, I guess there's some trades in here too, but we've got at least 3 separate Power Ranger series going on right now. Or is this first one a one-shot maybe?
I don't know. I kind of tune out Power Rangers. So.
I know, but I know we got a lot of, there are definitely customers at the store that are into this too, and I know some guys are. But man, if you like Power Rangers, now's the time to be getting your comics. They got a lot of stuff coming out here. Let's see, what's my next thing? Is it for a little bit?
Yeah, mine's not till 296. So.
Oh, okay. So 212 and Aftershock. We've got Bequest #1, and so this is the new book by Tim Seeley and Freddie E. Williams II. I follow Freddie Williams online. He's been posting like some sort of teasery preview art from this. Again, this is like more of a fantasy kind of thing they're doing, but it apparently takes place in Chicago, where magical items are being traded on a black market. So I don't know how real world this is, if it's, if we're just going straight alternate timeline kind of thing, or if it's like modern day Chicago, or if it's like wizardy Chicago. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll probably check that out. So page 216. So Maniac of New York #2. I guess I just didn't see this last time. But this is written by Elliot Kalin, who wrote for the new Mystery Science Theater show on Netflix and wrote for The Daily Show and like some other comedy shows and things. But this looks like a straight up kind of slasher book or something. Again, I wouldn't have associated him with that just from this art here on the cover. But that is him writing it, so I might check that out. Because again, I like some of his other stuff. We'll see if I like that. Going into 226, American Mythology. So they're the current license holder, I guess, for Zorro, and they are publishing Zorro New World, which is the 90s Marvel tie-in to the live-action Zorro series from back then. And again, these are pretty easy to find. I don't think they go for too much on the back issue market. What I do think is interesting, though, is they are doing a photo cover with Duncan. I'm not going to say his name, but the actor who played Zorro on that show. And it seems like such a no-brainer. Like, why didn't they do that back in the day? Again, Marvel, had the illustrated covers, and that's fine. It's a comic book. I get it. But yeah, it just seems like, why didn't they do a photo cover for that TV show back then?
And they should do a variant with Pete Paplasky.
Yeah, for sure. Add a photo cover with Pete Paplasky as Zorro?
No.
Okay.
So he does cosplay as Zorro.
Yeah, he does. Like, he could totally do that. Let's see.
Actually, 294 is my next thing.
Oh, 286.
Okay.
We've got Marvel Comics, the variant covers hardcover. And so this is an art book featuring a lot of the variant covers. It's 216 pages. So I'd assume at least 200-ish variant covers in there. Again, this might be kind of a nice reference, just like a nice art book to have. I kind of like this mashup character they have on the cover here with the sort of like combination of Thing and Spider-Man and Iron Man and Deadpool and different things, sort of in the Amazing Fantasy 15 pose. Again, I feel like I don't know. I'm trying to think, like early 90s, there was something else. It wasn't like a real character. Maybe it was a card or something where they did a mashup character like that. I just can't think of what it was now. But again, if you like, the Marvel variant covers and, maybe there's some hard to find ones because they're not all easy to get, might be the best way to pick up some of those. Right out on the next page, we see Keen Spot chugging right along. We've got Biden's Titans now. So looks like they're done with their Trump books, and they're moving on to the new administration. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, well, on Oni Press, page 296, we've got Jonna and the Unpossible Monsters, and this is Chris Samnee's first creator-owned book. So fans of Chris Samnee should definitely consider picking this up. There's some character designs and a couple of pages of art. So this is one of those things whenever a longtime creator kind of does their own thing for the first time, usually they're putting their heart and soul into that. So it's probably going to be pretty good. So.
Yeah, and I think this is another of the re-solicits where we have seen this before, so hopefully it is actually coming out this time.
Okay, I apparently wrote down the wrong page number. We're not to tomorrows yet, are we? No, okay. Yeah. So my next thing's in tomorrows.
Okay, so on 315, we've got Chip Kid Book 2, 2007 to 2017 hardcover. So again, this is collecting some of the work of Chip Kidd, the graphic designer. Again, he's done some Batman stuff and different things, but he's one of those graphic designers. You've seen his work, even if you don't know him. But yeah, again, one of my personal favorite designers. So it looks like we're getting, and again, they did a collection before of his earlier work. So this is the next volume in that. So if you like his work, check that out. Okay, 323. I know I've talked about this before on here. I know I have. So we've got the Steranko's History of Comics Volume 2 offered again. Since we've been doing this podcast, I know I've brought this up before.
Mm-hmm.
I have read most of this book. I don't own it. I'm going to go ahead and get it this time, just so I don't have to say this next time this book comes around, because this is really good. There's some cool artwork in here. Steranko has a lot of old artwork and stuff like that, and this is just a really nice reference book to have. I think this is the one that reprints Jerry Robinson's original Joker card drawing. And so you can actually see like the pencil he put down is, for that design, which they are, using again now and stuff. So it's kind of nice to see the original there.
I've actually got that. I'm gonna have to check and see if it's in there. I don't remember it being black and white though, but I haven't read through it though.
Well, no, I think the book is color, but I think
Okay.
the original pencil drawing is, black and white because it's pencil drawings. I think that's everything. I do have one more thing on this side of the catalog.
Okay, I got one more thing on this side too.
Okay, you don't have anything in tomorrow's, you said?
I have 334.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we have Jack Kirby's Dingbat Love hardcover. So apparently this is 370 stories by Kirby that have never before been printed, and they are printed in their entirety. Some of them have been inked, some of them are pencils, some have been colored. So if you're looking for some, Kirby stuff that you almost certainly haven't seen before, here's your chance.
Yeah, the Dingbats Danger Street were, as far as I know, their only real appearance was in first issue special in the 70s, that fairly short anthology series. So I'd like to see this.
Yeah, 160 pages. I don't know if I'd hardcover, so $44. But yeah, 3 Kirbys that you haven't seen before, probably worth considering.
Yeah. Well, my next thing is on 400. Anybody else have anything before that?
Nope.
So this is past comic books. This is in the sort of graffiti apparel section here. So DC is doing a selection of Pride superhero shirts. So we have the Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman logos, sort of rainbow versions of those. On the next page, we have Batgirl and Batwoman shirts, just the regular logos. Why are they not doing a Batwoman Pride shirt?
It's too on the nose.
I could see doing the 3, obviously. They get GLAAD awards for the Batwoman book. I don't think there's too on the nose with that. But I feel like that's really a missed opportunity there. Again, nobody asked me. So we flipping over now? The other side?
And I have nothing on side 2.
You got stuff on side 2. Don't be funny.
Unless I just find it, I'm flipping.
You got so much on side 2. First thing I've got on side 2 is page 13. We've got the Invincible, and they're listed as Animation Deluxe Action Figure Set. So I assume this is from the upcoming animated series. It doesn't look that off model from the book, though, either. But we have Invincible and Omni-Man figures here. And so they're going for $25 each, which isn't crazy for a collector action figure anymore, but it looks like they've got different heads and several different hands you can swap out and different things here, which is pretty standard for action figures anymore. On page 18 from Gentle Giant, we've got the Mandalorian and Child 1/6 scale statue, where it's them kind of taking off with the jetpack there. Let's see. What else did we have? Page 33. You don't want to talk about this, Scott? The Avengers Legends gear, Falcon and Winter Soldier Captain America shield?
No.
For $120. I would assume this is just a reissue, but I can't tell. I'm not that specific on the details. And again, the show's not out yet, so I don't know what shield they're using.
I'm not a big prop guy, so...
Right. Do you think it's the right size, though? Because I'm not seeing where it says how big it is.
I'm going to assume that it's going to be 30 instead of 36, and I think I saw that listed someplace.
Okay.
So it's probably wrong.
After that, on page 34, we've got the Marvel Legends Gear War Machine helmet. And I know we talked about this before, where they did the Punisher War Machine helmet, and we were all like, where's the War Machine helmet? Apparently, here it is. So we're finally getting that. I think we all kind of saw that coming, of course. At the bottom of that page, for Masters of the Universe fans, we have the Skeletor Havoc Staff limited edition prop replica. And so if this is the same one I've seen online, this is life-size Skeletor Havoc Staff. So it's, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's 81 inches long. So, yeah.
$550.
It is pricey. Yeah, I was all about it till I saw that price tag. But again, if you have to have it, you can get it now. Page 38, we've got Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian electronic helmet. So they've done a couple of versions of the Boba Fett one now, and now we are getting Mandalorian. I'll probably pick this one up. I've kind of wanted this since the show started, so I'll probably go ahead and get this one. Let's see. After that, got a lot of Funko stuff. I didn't see anything really amazing in there. Page 76. We've got the 3-0 G.I. Joe Snake Eyes 1/6 scale figure. Again, right now, G.I. Joe's kind of doing their classifieds or their Marvel Legends Black Series style figures for G.I. Joe. So now we've got this bigger, really detailed Snake Eyes. It looks pretty good in this picture. Again, this is all I've seen of it. But it's, 1/6 scale, 12 inches tall, and it is $150, so it better be pretty nice at that price. So, but again, if you aren't happy with your classifieds figure being big enough, we've got that one. On 84, we've got the Cyberpunk 2077 Johnny Silverhand PVC figure. Again, this is the character that Keanu Reeves plays in the game. Hopefully this one ships and doesn't get recalled or anything, unlike the game. So we'll see.
I've been playing that game on PC, and I've only had minor issues.
Yeah. Well, Sony and Xbox took it down from their stores. So page 94, kind of in the game section here, we have Aquarius DC Comics. And was it DC Comics Retrocast puzzles? So it looks like we've got one with covers, puzzles like Action number 1 and Batman number 1. And then we have, and it's hard to tell from this picture, but it's a bunch of the DC Comics characters, and it looks like mid-'80s to me. I want to say it's Jose Luis Garcia Lopez art, but it's hard to tell without getting closer. And it's so small in this picture, but it looks nice, and it looks like a pain in the butt puzzle to do if you're into that.
There were a lot of puzzles in these previews.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's definitely Jose Luis Garcia Lopez art. I was able to pull it up pretty tight.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we'll go with then. And I think that's it for me in this one. You guys have anything else you wanted to bring up?
No.
Yeah, back on page 22. No, I'm kidding.
Whatever. We're past that. We have moved on. All right, so just let everybody know this is the January catalog for stuff that's going to start to ship in March. If you heard something or you saw something in your copy you want to get, try to let us know by the 18th, by January 18th. Again, it's not the end of the world necessarily if you get to us after that, but you have a much better chance of getting it before then. So just let us know. And I think there's anything else we wanted to bring up this time around.
I don't know. You guys have what are you looking forward to, Dan?
I'm looking forward to James Bond. I'm really looking forward to that Agent of Spectre book. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think that's just some fertile ground for Christos Gage in there. If you drop the ball on that, I don't know what you're doing as a writer. So we'll see. And again, I don't feel bad about not getting the variants on that because I think the regular is the best version they're doing. How about you guys?
Mike, what do you got?
I'm looking forward mostly to Justice League 59, where Bendis takes over in the new lineup. I know it's got some of the mainstays, but definitely enough different new characters that haven't been in the lineup for a while.
I'm maybe gonna Orphan and the Five Beasts. The Firepower martial arts book and Shang-Chi books have been pretty good. So another martial arts book, maybe hopefully it's not too much. And then the wrap of The Expanse. I enjoy that series. So, Dan, you got an investment pick?
I'm going to say Bequest number 1 from Seeley and Freddie Williams. Again, there's a creator-owned thing, or I'm assuming by these guys. It's kind of their own thing. I would think, it seemed, I don't know, but it seems like the concept is enough to be turned into something else, so a show or a movie or whatever. So I'm going to go with that. And hopefully it's just a good book, too.
Mike, what about you?
As far as investment?
Yeah.
Noctera. I'm not a huge Snyder fan, but I like the concept that they're promoting here, soliciting.
I'm going to go with Carmen 1. I think there is a market out there for replacement for a show like Supernatural, and that might be able to fit it. So that's what I'm going to go with for my investment pick.
All right. So where can everybody find you, Scott?
Birdcomics.com and Facebook, Instagram, but all links to everything is on my birdcomics.com page.
People jump on Scott's Instagram and look at books he's not going to sell you.
I have books that I am going to sell.
I know, but you have some that you are not.
And I tag them all Bird Comics Personal Collection, so you know in advance.
What about you, Mike? If somebody wants to track you down online, stop you for a minute.
You know that's happening. Mike Atchison 5 on Twitter.
And this is Dan Brown. I am at Detective651 on Twitter, Instagram, and my TeePublic store. So holiday sales are over, but there's some new ones coming up this month. So if you want to get some cheap shirts, you can check that out. And you can find me every Saturday at Campus Comics at 816B East Main Street in Carbondale, Illinois. Again, you can find the store also on Facebook or Twitter, or if you want to give us a call, the number is 618-457-6011, and we are open Tuesday through Saturday, 11 to 5. And we'll see you next time.
Okay. You guys hear me okay? Yeah, I tell you what, as soon as I pushed record, I started hearing that echo thing going on. It was fine before that. Yeah. You hear it now, or? No, I'm not hearing it right now, but Mike is muted. So, yeah, now let's see if I hear him anyway. Yeah. Oh! It is being recorded. Video is being recorded. Yeah. Send that to your boss. Well, until we, my wife. Yeah. until we have YouTube channels, I'm not too worried about it. Right. Half the time, Scott, though, I don't even hear what he says. His little mini digs at me, messing with me. I'm like, wait, what did Dan just say? I'm like, oh, it's too late for a comeback. Yeah. Selective hearing is what that is. Yeah. Save my sanity. Dan, you said you weren't going to have much for DC? No, we definitely got stuff to talk about with DC. Okay, all right. Well, that's okay. I thought you said you didn't have much. No. I was like, man, I've got to. Yeah, no, I think we'll be talking about DC for a minute, I think. Okay, all right. DC looks like a mess to me, so. Yeah. As we're getting in, I started going through my notes, and I hadn't even made any notes on DC. Apparently, I forgot to look at the DC catalog. So, I listen to a lot of DC-centric podcasts. Not a lot, a few. And they're definitely putting the old Spin Doctor moves on some of this stuff. So, I'm not sold, though. I'll save it for our official review after Dan does his magnificent intro. Yeah. Right. Well, you just want to dive right in, Dan? Or yeah, I think so. You guys good? Yeah, I'm good.